The History of the Cathars by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The history of the Cathars, a religious sect that emerged in the Languedoc region of France during the 12th century, represents a significant chapter in the annals of medieval Christianity. The Cathars not only challenged the religious status quo, but also left an indelible mark on the cultural and spiritual landscape of Europe, the effects of which can still be felt today. The genesis of Catharism can be traced back to a confluence of various religious and philosophical influences that permeated medieval Europe. Emerging in the context of a burgeoning interest in alternative spiritualities, Catharism is often associated with the dualistic worldview that posits a stark dichotomy between the forces of good and evil. This dualism, reminiscent of Gnostic traditions, suggests that the material world is inherently flawed, created by a malevolent deity, while the spiritual realm is the domain of a benevolent, transcendent God. Such beliefs were not isolated. They were part of a broader tapestry of heretical movements that questioned the established doctrines of the Catholic Church. Furthermore, the sociopolitical landscape of the Languedoc region during the 12th century provided a fertile ground for the proliferation of Cathar beliefs. The relative autonomy of the region, characterized by a degree of independence from the central authority of the Catholic Church, allowed for the flourishing of diverse theological perspectives. The Cathars, also known as Albigensians, emerged as a distinct sect advocating a radical departure from the dogmas espoused by the Catholic Church. This environment of relative freedom and intellectual exploration was crucial in shaping the Cathar identity, as it encouraged the questioning of traditional beliefs and the exploration of new spiritual paths. At the heart of Catharism lies a complex theological framework that diverges significantly from orthodox Christian teachings. Central to Cathar belief is the notion of dualism, which posits the existence of two opposing forces, the good God, who embodies pure spiritual essence, and the evil God, who is responsible for the creation of the material world. This belief system engenders a profound disdain for the physical realm, leading to ascetic practices aimed at transcending corporeal existence. The Cathars viewed the material world as a prison for the soul, and their spiritual practices were designed to liberate the spirit from the confines of the body. Moreover, the Cathars rejected the sacraments of the Catholic Church, viewing them as corrupt and ineffective. Instead, they emphasized the importance of personal spiritual experience and direct communion with the divine. The practice of consolamentum, a form of spiritual baptism, was central to Cathar rituals, symbolizing the initiation into a higher state of spiritual purity. This sacrament was often administered to individuals at the end of their lives, reflecting the Cathar belief in the transient nature of the physical body. The Cathars also practiced a form of communal living, where they shared resources and supported one another in their spiritual journeys, further solidifying their distinct identity. The rise of Catharism had profound implications for the social fabric of the Languedoc region. The Cathars established a network of communities that fostered a sense of solidarity and shared purpose among the adherents. These communities often operated outside the purview of the Catholic Church, creating alternative social structures that emphasized egalitarianism and communal living. The Cathar emphasis on personal autonomy and spiritual agency resonated with many individuals disillusioned by the hierarchical nature of the Catholic Church. This sense of community not only provided spiritual support, but also created a social safety net for those who chose to embrace Cathar beliefs. Furthermore, the Cathars' rejection of material wealth and their ascetic lifestyle attracted a diverse following, including members of the nobility and peasantry alike. This cross-class appeal posed a significant challenge to the established social order, prompting the Catholic Church to view Catharism not merely as a theological threat, but as a socio-political insurgency. The Cathars' influence extended beyond religious boundaries, impacting local economies and social relations, as their communities often engaged in trade and agriculture, promoting a sense of self-sufficiency. The Cathar way of life encouraged a more equitable distribution of resources, which was particularly appealing in a time marked by feudal hierarchies and economic disparity. In response to the growing influence of Catharism, the Catholic Church initiated a series of measures aimed at suppressing the heretical sect. The Albigensian Crusade, launched in 1209, marked a pivotal moment in the conflict between the Catholic Church and the Cathars. This military campaign, sanctioned by Pope Innocent III, sought to eradicate Catharism through a combination of military force and ecclesiastical authority. The crusade resulted in widespread devastation, with entire towns being razed and countless lives lost. The brutality of the campaign not only decimated the Cathar population, but also left a lasting scar on the collective memory of the region. Moreover, the establishment of the Inquisition in the early 13th century further exemplified the Catholic Church's determination to root out heresy. The Inquisition employed a systematic approach to identifying and prosecuting suspected Cathars, utilising methods that included interrogation, torture and execution. This institutionalised persecution not only decimated the Cathar population, but also instilled a pervasive climate of fear and suspicion within the broader society. The Inquisition's tactics were designed to discourage dissent and reinforce the authority of the Church, but they also fueled resentment and resistance among those who witnessed the atrocities committed in the name of religious orthodoxy. The fall of Montsegur, which occurred in March 1244, represents a pivotal moment in the history of the Cathars. This event not only marked the culmination of the Albigensian Crusade, but also signified the tragic decline of Catharism. The fortress of Montsegur, perched atop a steep hill, served as the last stronghold for the Cathars. The siege, initiated by the forces of the Inquisition, lasted for several months, during which the defenders, numbering around 200, exhibited remarkable resilience and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. However, the strategic advantages held by the besieging forces ultimately led to the fortress's capitulation. Upon surrendering, the Cathars were presented with a harrowing choice: renounce their beliefs or face execution. Many chose martyrdom, steadfast in their convictions, while others, seeking to preserve their lives, recanted their faith. The execution of those who refused to abandon their beliefs was a significant event, as it underscored the lengths to which the Church would go to eradicate heresy. The burning of the Cathar leaders at the foot of the castle became emblematic of the broader struggle between orthodoxy and dissent, illustrating the profound implications of this historical moment. By the end of the 13th century, the Cathar movement had been largely extinguished, with many adherents either killed or forced to renounce their beliefs. However, the legacy of Catharism endures, influencing subsequent religious and philosophical movements. The Cathars' emphasis on personal spiritual experience and their critique of institutional authority resonate with various reformist currents throughout history, including the Protestant Reformation. The Cathar ideals of simplicity, humility, and direct communion with the divine have inspired countless individuals seeking a more authentic spiritual path. Furthermore, the Cathar narrative has been romanticised in contemporary culture, often serving as a symbol of resistance against oppressive religious structures. The enduring fascination with Catharism reflects a broader interest in alternative spiritualities and the quest for authentic religious experience in a world often characterised by dogmatism and conformity. Literature, art and popular media have all drawn upon the Cathar story, portraying it as a tale of courage and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. This cultural revival has sparked renewed interest in the historical context of the Cathars, prompting scholars and enthusiasts alike to explore their beliefs and practices in greater depth. In summation, the history of the Cathars encapsulates a rich tapestry of theological innovation, social upheaval, and institutional conflict. The emergence of Catharism in the Languedoc region represents a significant challenge to the hegemony of the Catholic Church, prompting a violent response that sought to eradicate this heretical movement. Despite the eventual suppression of the Cathars, their beliefs and practices continue to resonate, offering profound insights into the complexities of faith, autonomy, and the human quest for meaning. The Cathar legacy serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring struggle for spiritual authenticity in the face of institutional authority. As we reflect on the Cathar experience, we are reminded of the importance of tolerance, understanding, and the need to question established norms in our ongoing search for truth.